Hello.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Nap Time Review.
Or if this is your first time viewing, welcome to Nap Time Review. You're new.
We should have those right there. Subscribe. Subscribe.
Sorry, guys. All right. So anyway, this is a review about the movie Beyond the Wire, which is on Netflix. And it has Anthony Mackie and another dude who I swore was on other stuff. He has a really familiar face. Like he was in something when he was younger, but I looked it up on his IMDb and like...
He's on Snowfall.
Right now. But he didn't do anything when he was younger, but the character from Snowfall.
Yeah, I've watched a couple episodes. I should know his name, but he's a good actor.
Yeah, he's a good actor. I mean, we all should know Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Is he in the...
Falcon.
Yeah.
In the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, he's in the Marvel Universe. Hella spoilers. So, go ahead. What's the movie about?
The movie is about a young... know-it-all drone pilot who gets in trouble for taking an action that goes against his superiors, and then he gets put with a different type of commanding officer.
Yeah, well, he's put on the ground.
Yeah, he's put on the ground.
He's a drone pilot who's never been in combat.
Right.
So as punishment, because he made a choice that was against what they told him to do.
Mm-hmm.
They, as punishment, and during this whole review thing, they put him on the ground.
Mm-hmm. With a different type of commanding officer.
A very hard commanding officer who, spoiler,
wasn't human. No.
A lot of human qualities, which leads me to question, is this the type of cyborg or robot or whatever that it evolves as it learns more and takes in more of the real world, that it sees how people interact with each other and then intakes that and
develops the character, right?
Yeah, is it that type of robot, or is it the type of robot where that was one of my notes. If you guys see us looking at the phone, we made notes. If that was one of my questions. Did they make him have that type of personality, or is that the type of personality that, based on his observation of other commanding officers and his knowledge that they put in him from the internet, I don't know, that robot cyborg then formulated, this is the best type of personality to get through to people. This is the best type of, I don't know.
I think, I mean, we're spoiling the movie. We're going so theoretical, like off the bat, but I think it's a mixture of both of those things. I think the cyborg was supposed to just be able to think about the army and all that stuff critically, but then when he started learning about hummingbirds and all that stuff and feeling like music and stuff like that, then it deduced the best viable option.
Like Smart House when we were younger.
Right.
Do you guys remember Smart House on Disney? If you're like a millennial.
Yeah.
She was a robot house, and based on seeing like how the world was, she then decided, this is what a wife should be, and I need to protect you guys as a robot after learning all this stuff, so I'm going to adjust. And there was another movie like that. Oh no, Fifth Element.
Fifth Element?
Well, she wasn't a robot, but she had was instilled with all this stuff, and then she's just like, oh, what's the point of living? There's war.
Right. Well, like, she went to the far left, to the extreme with killing everybody on the planet, but it follows the same concept as, I want to be a savior, but I'm looking around. We are the problem. Should we kill a little to save a lot?
This is not a new story. What's the other thing that we just watched in the computer, the Intersect? Oh, it's not new. What's that show?
Nigga, iRobot is just like this.
Yeah, iRobot. Oh yeah, because the main robot
the main robot was trying to save, but he was battling from the other side, trying to save the whole world. Meanwhile, the robots are like, we should take over.
Yeah. Wait, what's that show that you had me watching? Chuck?
Yes.
That's similar, but he's not a robot. But
right.
It's similar in the fact that he was like bombarded with information.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if that's how Anthony, to bring it back to this movie, if that's how Anthony Mackie's character was he bombarded with this information and then deduced this what needs to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my
and figure out what's for the greater good. But let's talk about this movie.
Oh my gosh! So the beginning of it looked like a video game, which was really cool.
Yes, it did.
Which says a lot about video games today because it looked so real, but it also looked like a video game where it's like, video games look so real, but the animation is just like, I know that's not real.
Like I missed this a little bit, but I think Nicole corrected me when we were watching the movie. I'm like, this is in the not too distant future. She's like, it's only like 2035 in this movie, right? Like this I don't think what happens in the movie is too far fetched very soon.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, with Elon Musk running around
doing his thing,
or we can easily have robots.
It was like a video game. Like
in the beginning,
now the video games are becoming more realistic. The movies are now becoming like.
So where that begs the question, like, is there gonna be a line or like a clear difference between video games and reality? Because the animation in video games.
That's a great question.
What's the point of having something in animation if it's going to look like real? Just make it real. Oh, well, no, they can't make a real war scene. I mean, they can. Anyway, I have notes. I've got notes on notes.
Yeah,
do you want to read some of your notes?
Yeah, I want to. Yeah. With the story, the young character.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We're just giving advice, talking about points. I thought it was interesting at one point, and this was an important quote in the movie, that he said, if you give up crazy terrorists nukes, what's going to happen? And that actually ended up being like an important line in the movie. But I immediately thought of Donald Trump. Did you think of Donald Trump? We didn't look at each other, but immediately in my head, I was just like,
Donald Trump. I don't know if I thought him. I don't think so.
All right, go ahead. Sorry, look at your notes.
Yeah, looking at my notes. So the situation that got the main character to go with Anthony Mackie's character was that there was a siege on the ground, and there was a whole bunch of army people going through, and he's looking around, and they want to plant an airstrike, but there's two people in the heat of combat, and everybody's saying, stand down, wait, let me get a chance to save my men. But he's just like, yo, everybody's gonna die. We have to take this out because I see a bazooka or whatever it was. So he fired. He killed the two servicemen, but he saved 38. But if he didn't do anything, which is more humane, watch 40 of your men get killed or kill 2 of your men to save 38. And that was the main problem, that he said we're going to have to kill 2 in order to... Because he's detached from it. This is a video game to him because he's a drone pilot. But go ahead.
I mean, that was one of your notes.
That was one of my notes. That was one of my notes. And I was just thinking to myself, like, what do you do in that situation? Because if you do send the drone, it's like, damn, you do take responsibility for killing that person. But I think he was not connected to those people. Those people are on the ground fighting. You're in the air, so you're coming from a safe area where it's just like, okay, this is not really real to me. You lose that connection. And he did what was the most rational thing to do. But is it being rational, does that make it humane?
Yeah. And I think the point of the movie was just saying war in general is an inhumane thing. So something absolutely tragic has to happen for people to realize how inhumane war is to essentially end war, which is really interesting. Something else, after we said that, he got punished. So after he killed the 2 soldiers to save 38, like we said, he was placed on the ground. And what I was thinking is, I liked how they formatted they hinted at it, but they didn't really fully show how much of a mind fuck that it would be for someone to go from playing video games, because that's like what you said, that's what it was to him, to actually be on the ground in the middle of combat, and he never was in combat, and like he was not prepared for that, and he had been doing drones for so long, and then to just go into a combat zone, that's something that really can mess somebody up. There was one scene in particular when they first started shooting, his first shootout, he like freaked out and was like behind a car, completely zoned out, sitting there like,
he did that the majority of the movie.
Yeah. So I thought that was a really good job of showing the human aspect of showing not only how inhumane war can be based on the casualties, but also how inhumane it is, the effects that it has on soldiers that are thrown into that. So, yeah. Which could easily explain PTSD for soldiers. So, he's definitely going to have PTSD.
Oh, yeah, from what happened? Yeah. So, I think, going along with this, one of my next point was that, like, when you're in the Army, it seems like there is no race or really like that. You have to talk to each other on the same, by just rank. Like he was the main character, he was so good at his job and everything like that. He was becoming very informal with his superiors because they knew that he was that good. But when they did something that they couldn't just cover up, he went to go on the ground, and then when he was speaking to other higher ups, they were just like, no. That you have to talk to me the way I'm supposed to be talked to because of what I have on my chest. I really kind of like that because it puts everything in perspective, where it wasn't that you have to talk to me with more respect because of my color, is because of my rank. Because after they would almost like show their rank, there was also the human side to it. Like he was like, "Yo, talk to me, sir," but then when the older white general let him walk away, but he gave him a hint, was just like, "Yo, the guy that you're about to work under, he's not like us." He still kept it real with him. You know what I mean? So even though there's that rank, but there's also that camaraderie and I think the Army kind of promotes that.
Another thing about the movie that I thought was really interesting was, I forget what Anthony Mackie's character said. He said something, but I think they were talking about the 2 versus the 38. And what I took away from that, it was an interesting part of the movie, is that it was a robot teaching a human how to be human. That's what another point that I got, which was, I feel like that's different than those other movies that we were talking about.
A human teaching.
A robot was teaching a human how to be human. He was telling him like, "Yo, you've never been down here. Is it? How like you killed 2 people versus 30 out. That's, you still killed 2 people. Whether it's 2 people still died, and you don't have any connection to that as a drone pilot." So I thought, I was just like, wow, it was a robot. And once again, that brings me back to like, was he programmed to do that, or was that just something that he picked up on?
No, there was a lot of things that Anthony Mackie's character was doing that our main character, he didn't even compute, because he was just like, "Oh, I'm a rational thinker. I'm just I'm the robot." But the robot is like jazz notes and like really sitting back and like, you gotta smell, look, like taking his time to enjoy life. And you're right, he was teaching the human how to be human.
You didn't catch that?
I did, but when you say it in that manner, But that was also then used against that him passing off as a human was used against our main character.
What do you mean?
Like Anthony Mackie's character, he lowered the defense of our main character by saying, "Oh, I'm more human. I'm looking at everything. Blah blah blah."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did use that against him in the end. I guess we won't talk about that exactly. Maybe, I don't know. We'll try not to ruin it.
Okay.
I don't know. Oh, I don't. This is just a random note. There was a random lady, white lady in it. She was a bad bitch. My note said she was a bad bitch! Exclamation point. Whoever she was, I liked her. I don't know what else she's been in, but I liked her. The woman behind the car, talked about one scene he wasn't ready to save somebody. Oh, I be catching like hella inconsistencies. So they were what, in the Ukraine or something like that?
Something like that. Oh, they were in Ukraine. It was Ukraine and Russia. Yeah,
Ukraine and Russia. And then the main character is in Snowfall. He like saved them, but like they were all talking Ukrainian. And then there was like one lady that he saved like on his own, and he was like, "Are you all right?" She's like, "Yeah." And then like another part later, he said something to her like, "I'll be right back. You stay right here." She's like, "Okay." And I'm just like, she the only person that just randomly we got. Like, I know they speak English in other countries, but like nobody else was speaking English. I was just like, okay.
Oh, Harp and Leo. That's what those were their names were. Harp. Yeah. Like, we can stop saying
Anthony Mackie and the other dude.
Yeah. So Harp and Leo. So I think here's one of my notes. It was Harp is going to be Leo in the future. He can make the absolute right call from a distance with no feelings attached. And it's different, but then Harp is learning how to become more human because he's seeing this stuff up close and personal. It's like,
who's Harp and Leo?
Harp is our main character. Leo is the cyborg.
Leo's Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it just goes back to the point that we've been making. Leo was teaching him how to be human. Yeah. Like, I could see Harp be Leo in the future if he didn't experience this.
Oh, being robotic.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, here's a point. This shit all, I don't know if you realize this. This shit all happened in like 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
Did you realize that?
Yeah, it was a fast movie.
It happened all...
No, in terms of the time frame.
A lot happened, but all happened in 24 to 48 hours. So, yes, it's one of those movies. I thought that was it. I don't know if you caught that, but...
And honestly, yo, when we figured out what the big spoiler was, Leo was a bad guy.
Yeah.
Actually, but was he bad, though? Because this movie has you thinking, like... like how me and Nicole usually try to talk to each other and try to understand each other. We try to see the other person's perspective. Harp, when he blew up those people and saved the 38 servicemen and killed the 2, he only accounted for those lives. Mm-hmm. He didn't account for the lives of the kids that live in the area, the people that live in the area. Mm-hmm. When he was on the ground, he finally saw what people are losing their homes. Kids are in orphanages. Mm-hmm. So it's like you have to look at everything,
Yeah. So it was a war movie. And it made you think at the end.
It made you think a lot.
About war and the necessity of war. And think about it from a human aspect of thinking on the other side. So I would rate this movie like a 4 out of 5. Like a 3.75 out of 5. It was a good movie.
It was a good
movie.
I'll give it a 4.
A 4?
I'll give it a 4. I really enjoyed it. Made me think, and I still want to have more conversations about it.
Yeah. So it was good. So we recommend it. So go ahead and go watch Beyond the Wire.
Beyond the Wire.
Yeah. If you like this video, I don't freaking know. And you want to see more, or you want to like give us feedback or whatever.
Yeah,
I
give
guess,
us some
like,
feedback.
Comment, subscribe, whatever. Do it. It's us. I don't know. Bye.